Season 8 as a Spiritborn only. Yeah, I only play one class per season, do several builds, as many builds as I can do. And what I'm showing here is my best build. It's a full pit 90, and it was my first season doing Spiritborn. So the quill volley was new to me, so I thought it was quite fun. So yes, I did choose the weakest class to do in Season 8. It's kind of similar to my choice in Season 6 to do a Sorcerer, which was the weakest class. But oddly enough, those two seasons were the most fun I had. I guess I enjoy struggling to an extent. But, so yes, this is a quill volley build that at the end of this pit, I finished this pit in about 10 minutes. So that's pretty good for a very weak class in a season. I had very good gear, which I will be showing at the end of the video. And I played this class last, and I think that I am done. I think I'm done playing for the season. I'm just kind of tired of doing the bosses over and over again, doing Infernal Hordes over and over again, remaster working, doing all that, the end game stuff to just get everything just right. And my spirit was kind of broken. The last time I did Belial, the main boss of this season, I was hoping to improve my shroud, my mythic shroud that I'm wearing, a false death, and a 3GA chest piece. Just, I think, maybe yesterday or the day before, a 3GA chest piece, flung out of the chest. And I was so excited because my shroud is only a 1GA. I pick it up, and you know what I'm going to say. It was a 3GA Tyrael's Might, which is useless. It used to be kind of a good chest piece to wear for different builds, but I don't see anybody wearing Tyrael's Might anymore. So what I'll do is I'll describe a little bit about what I'm doing here since this video has been going on. This is a kind of souped up, optimized quill volley Spiritborn build. I use the Mystic Circle a lot, and I have some kind of regeneration. I had no cooldown on any of my gear, but I had one of my pieces of gear, though, lowered all my cooldowns per attack, and I had really good attack speed. And so, as you can see, even though some of my things on cooldown have 20, 15, 10 seconds, as soon as I start attacking, the cooldown just disappears, which was nice. I really liked that. I didn't have to waste any affixes on cooldown, and I didn't have to waste many affixes, even though I am wearing the Ring of Starless Skies. I didn't have to waste any affixes on crit chance because of the boss power that gives you like 50 automatically. And so yeah, my crit chance was in the mid to high 90s, and only having it on my Starless Skies essentially. So that was pretty cool. I'll just let the play here kind of reveal itself and comment when I see something. Yeah, I really like the mix of vortex used with the mythic circle, being able to get all of the enemies into that higher damage circle. As you can see, there's a lot of orange attacks. I had the rune that increased overpower chance. Another nice group there. It was really quite fun. Like I said, I know every other player played Spiritborn in Season 6. You know, everybody can't wait to do all this damage, you know, that the Spiritborn did in Season 6. You know, but I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. Even though last season, Season 7, I did do a barb the whole season, nothing else. And, you know, I did the Earthquake Hammer of the Ancients, and, you know, that was a meta build, and I was doing trillions of damage for the first time ever. That was kind of nice. But this Spiritborn, it couldn't do trillions. It almost never did hundreds of billions. You know, the attack, the damages are hard to see. They're just big piles of numbers. But, I just saw 112 billion. Like, that's about as good as it got with this. It's just, I had fast attack speed. I had a 4GA Rod of Kepelecki that did, that my core skills hit twice on. So that's pretty much double. And then all sorts of other kind of little boosters where it really was about my speed of attack and not how much damage I was doing on individual hits. You know, it adds up if you can do, like, I think this character routinely did, I don't know, 10 to 90 billion damage. And if you can attack this fast, then it adds up. Now, granted, this is a pit 90 and I do it in 10 minutes, so I'm not saying this is meta at all. You know, Spiritborn did not have a meta build this season. So there's that. But yeah, I think I'm getting down to the last few monsters I have to kill to get to the boss. Bossing was a problem. You will see that. Taking down the spiders here. A couple of good 20, 30, 40 billion damage there. Another group. I really don't like the spider characters that create more spiders after you kill them. Not a fan. All right, so here we are at the boss. I don't know, what did we make it in? 6 minutes to spare, so about 9 minutes. So I died quite often while attempting pit 90s. It was only at the boss. I could make it through. I could make it through to the boss with 6, 7, 8 minutes left. It's just, you know, they give the bosses a lot of hit points here. But I'm actually making good progress here because I'm staying in the Mystic Circle, using my ultimate, the tiger, I forget what it's called, the hunter. Yeah, using my ultimate, the hunter, because it increases the ferocity. So actually, look, I mean, I'm not doing so bad if you look at the boss's health bar. And I could really kind of get it going if I activated all of my things off cooldown at the right time, was in the circle, timed my Hunter ultimate correctly. I could really do quite a bit of damage in one piece. See, like, actually, that was a pretty good one. I think I saw 70 and 80 billion. Okay, that's a good one right there too. So, yeah, it was all about timing, because this he just wasn't that strong. So you had to really get good at the game, All right, here's the part where I thought I was going to die, but wow, no, the boss's health bar went down quite well. So here's my gear. And you're going to see that I've kind of did what I can do with this character. Okay, 4GA, Rod of Kapalecki, and maximum aspect, 0.50. And triple crit on the chance to hit twice with core skills. Standard boots, 2GA, really good. Pants, a little more boost to basic skills, barrier generation. Mythic Circle, real important to get that. Quill Volley, primary resource, and resistances. That was a really good 2GA glove. Shot of False Death, pretty good masterwork there. We want all stats. You want max life. My life was low on this, so I had to hit the max life. And then a 4GA Loyalties Mantle. This was a drop from a seasonal cache. It was unbelievable. It ranks to potency on the amulets and dexterity, some more max life, and Mystic Circle, things like that. Ring, attack speed, max life, extra vulnerable damage there, and of course Mystic Circle, and then a Ring of Starless Eyes, 2GA. Lucky Hit was needed in this build, and also attack speed, so this was like the perfect ring. So there is that, and then I did 3 other builds. And that's coming up. So this was I tried all poison. Tried to see what happened with a poison build. I'm not going to go through this line by line, but I used Stinger, and had quite good equipment. You'll see. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to try and go through it line by line, but there's Stinger size there, Toxic Skin ranks, pants that just shored up all of my resistances, plus gave you all stats. Gloves, pretty good glove here. Gave a lot of good armor. Centipede damage, because this was a poison build. Same shroud. Loyalties Mantle, I used this as well because I was using 2 centipedes as my 2 spirit halls. And then, Pestilent Swarm. It was said they said if you do a poison build, like just beef up on your Pestilent Swarm damage. And I went for it here. And then an awesome 4GA Wound Drinker. Or no, this isn't the Wound Drinker yet. This is the Writhing Moon. Pestilent Storm, chance to hit twice. Pestilent Storm, all these things with Pestilent Storm. Pestilent Storm is a weak attack. Here's my Wound Drinker, 4GA again. It was a very good, lucrative season for drops and selling and everything. So yeah, it was the weakest. This poison build there, poison did almost no damage. Now this is my evade feathers build. So like lots of storm feather potency increases. Kind of like on the previous build with Pestilent Storm, or Pestilent, whatever it is. This was just, an evade-based Storm Feather attack. And this was fun to play, but once again, it lacked damage. Once I did the 4th and final build, the Quill Volley, and just beefed up that build, it was amazing. And of course, Harlequin Quest with cooldown reduction here. And this is the Sunbird Gorget was like an important part of this build. I got a 4GA there. Once again, very Good season for getting lots of good gear, or at least buying it. More Storm Feather, potency, max life, dexterity, kind of standard stuff, attack speed. More attack speed, dexterity, Storm Feather damage. And then of course all my aspects were Storm Feather related too. Didn't do the damage that was advertised, that people advertised that the PTR did on the Storm Feathers. So, and this is the very first build I did. It was a basic skill attack, the Rock Splitter. So there it is, 4GA Sepazontech. And everything else that was like, kind of standard and necessary. Boots, with the aspect, ferocity. Rock Splitter, chance bonus, barrier generation, things like that. Pain Gorgers. I don't know why more people didn't use this. I mean, if you're going to use a basic attack build, like this thing just gives you a lot of stuff, good stuff. Attack speed, cooldown, more ranks to basic. And then Razor Blade. Oh yeah, so this was a Thorns Rock Splitter build that I got from Immortalize, who's a very nice guy. I go on his Twitch channel once in a while. And obviously I went and used some of his build on Mobilytics. Some of the other standard stuff, Hunter cooldown. This one was the second best build that I made. This Thorns Rock Splitter basic build. It was really fun. But yeah, nothing compared to Quill Volley and that first thing that I showed. None of them could even do probably Pit 80 even. But the Quill Volley did 90. All right, that's it.